Hey everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Well, we had some excitement this morning. Got a visit from the zoning inspector from the township. We got turned in for having, in quotes, an electrified chain link fence. If any of you know what it would take to have an electrified chain link fence, you will be laughing already. Those of you who don't, I'll explain in a few minutes. But the funny thing is, you can't even see the fence that we have here. And our property, officially, we own, this road is in the wrong spot, and we own 20 feet up into the neighbor's land, which now I understand, no, that wouldn't be it. We essentially own up to the front of that trailer. Oops, this camera's off. We essentially own up to the front of that trailer. And according to the survey, one neighbor did. And so this would be our front yard and up into there. Well, anyway, officially. So this is, well, off the road, which is a private lane. And the fence in question I'll get to and show you in a minute. But we walked the property and I had to show the fencing and explain. Also, why I started out here, we have been turned in for blocking the intersection, the view of traffic from the intersection, so that it would cause accidents when they get up here with their vehicle. Well, our fence, if you can see it, is, and the funny thing is, he didn't even see it. He says, when you get it up, and I said, no, it's done. He said, no, when you get to it and get it up. And I said, no, it's done. You can't see it. And because it goes up in here and it stops and turns in right here. And he paced it with me and counted, and he was right on to the mark. And he paced it out and found out that this post here, sorry if I jerk a lot, horseflies are after me. This post right here, I don't know where, right there, is our corner. And that's, we can build anything behind that point from 35 feet off from the center of the road to there. So we can build anything up to that point. And we're way in over there to this tree with the yellow markers on. I cannot see my camera. We're way over here. So we're that far again off the road. And actually the trees are blocking the view, if anything. But we're not. We're far, far, far from that. Actually, the trees are worse than anything. But our fence is not even visible. So we're good. And yeah, you cannot see the fence. My right arm still hurts occasionally, so I'm switching hands. You can't see the fence. Let me take you over and show you another complaint. We were turned in for another violation. Now here is Carroll Road, all right, which goes through our wooded lot. That's an easement through our wooded lot. Now our wooded lot, we own all of that down quite a ways down the road here. I'm on Lyle. We own quite a ways down that way and all the way back. Anyway, this is our wooded lot all the way up to where our gardens are in the front yard. Our gardens are actually on the wooded lot, and Melanie's shed is on the wooded lot over here. So this is all our wooded property. It's another property entirely. And our fence cuts in over here, inside the tree line, far from any roads, deep into our wooded lot. So the other complaint that was given, the other violation, was that we have an, in quotes, electrified chain link fence. Well, that was the actual quotation that was turned in. An electrified chain link fence. Now this is a easement through our wooded property. This is a separate property, and this is our wooded property. It goes way back in. Our compost bins, our gardens, Melanie's shed, and my tent, my gray storage tent, are on our wooded property. So this is, people have the permission, one or two property owners have permission to drive on here, which was grandfathered in because it's ancient. Otherwise I would shut this down. Because you can see a certain person, you can see tire tracks through here, keeps driving in my grass just to antagonize me. I don't know if you can see the tire tracks, but continuously, non-stop, always driving just up in the grass. Sometimes he drives way deep in just to antagonize me, and continuously removes my no trespassing signs. It's a non-stop thing. So anyway, here is our chain link fence, which is about 20 feet off of the easement on our wooded property. And the chain link fence itself is not electrified. And the laughable thing is, if you know what it takes to electrify an entire chain link fence, would probably be a power unit the size of my shed to power electrified chain link fence. And that's what prisons and military bases would have. So the actual chain link fence itself here is not electrified. It's just a chain link fence to stop somebody. But what I find very interesting is that somebody, this is all our land. This is all our land, all through here. And somebody doesn't want that fence there. And it's tearing them up. Because we get turned in constantly for that fence for various issues since we started on it. But, well, right now, no one and no thing is getting in. And that's a good thing. It's serving its purpose. And we have safety at the homestead right now. So that's what it's there for. But yeah, if anybody goes into our property that far in the first place, then I have to ask, what are you doing on my land and that far in my land? And I got to get more no trespassing signs up. Those cost money, and they keep going away. But I'm going to get some more up, actually probably in the next day or so here. Get that done. So that was the excitement of the day. Took up my day. There's one sign that is on the inside of the fence that is still there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put them on the inside of the fencing. They stay that way. Well, brief update from the off-grid homestead. And another day dealing with people. It is what it is. But soon we won't have to worry about a thing. Actually, already we've got the driveway's done. Sorry, the wind is blowing. We can continue in a minute. So we have 360 degrees of security now. 360 degrees of fence. And 360 degrees of we can sleep at night and know nobody's coming in. I'm working on more cameras, which I will not tell you in detail or show or make video with. This place, if you use a camera finder, is going to light up like a landing strip in the dark. It's going to light up like a Christmas tree out here in the night when I'm done. And I've got the cameras, I've got the materials and the supplies, and I just am working on the time. Right now, this incredibly intense heat, we have 10 to 20 degrees hotter than normal for this time of year. This really bad heat is slowing me down right now. So I'm not getting as much done as I'd like, and I'm going to start working on the electronics inside. Now, one of the beautiful things about my fence. Wind again. Hold on. It was too hot. Melanie and I just did it in a hurry. It was miserable hot. We were both hurting. When somebody from the Philippines says it's too hot, you know it's hot. We've got chain link fence now. We have a entirely enclosed our property. This one is temporary and blocks anyone from coming in. And now I can't get my tractor out that way, but that's fine. That's perfectly acceptable. I still got to get the electric fence wires up above that, but we got the chain link fence around our entire complete property. We're going to be replacing this with the wood fencing, but we want to have the peace and security of sleeping well at night, knowing nobody's coming in our property, and no animals, no nothing are coming in our property anymore at all from any direction at all. So that's done, and I'll show you the other section I did temporarily just to get it done until we get the wood done. But now this, I don't have to hurt myself and get the wood fencing up and get the gates and everything. And we have a rollaway driveway fence for now until we get the actual wood finished. Let me take you out to the back side. Out here now, I don't know if you can see it or not. We continued the electric fence, or the chain link fence, all the way over to where we left off here. Reason being, now we have 100%, 360 degrees of fence protecting and surrounding our property. There's a tiny little strip here. I gotta grab Melanie when it cools off, and we'll finish that today. Just a tiny little chunk here, an 8-foot strip that we'll wire up, and it'll be done. As I continue on with the wood fencing, we'll roll that away section by section by section, all the way back, along the back. The whole back of our property, behind the sheds, all the way to the corner, is going to be privacy fence. And the neighbors seem to be cool with that. So I've talked with them, the new neighbors. This has been purchased by somebody else. And they seem cool with that. And yeah, so the chain link fence, electric fence, all the way around, 360 degrees, all the way around the property now. 100% security. Nobody gets in or out without us knowing. That is nice. For the first time in all these years, we have peace. So anyway, yeah, we'll get this chunk, just this chunk done. That's the only thing left. And that'll be it. Absolutely done. And then as I build, I'll roll this back. And this gives me time because it's in the 80s and 90s right now, and I just don't work good in the heat. Forgive me. Yeah, some people say, you're weak. Yeah, well, you come out here in minus 20 and work where I'm comfortable. But anyway, so that'll. I also don't want to run the mill in this intense heat. I don't know if it'll harm it or not, but I just don't like to subject my machines and equipment to that heat. It's hot running engines and heat. I just don't want to do it. So I'll get that done when the weather turns a little cooler on mornings. I got to get some more slab wood, and we'll get that up. As we said, as we build this up, we'll just roll back the chain link fence, but now we're safe. We're protected. We're closed in, and I'm happy. One of the things about my fence, which you can't even see, is that the electric fence wires, I have missing pulse detector circuits, and I am working on finishing up every single section of fence, north, south, east, and west, is going to have its own separate system. By the time you see this video, it will be absolutely done, completed and done. So I should say has by now, by the time you see this video. Each and every section of the compass, direction on the compass, will have its own independent alarm system, camera system, solar powered, backup power, and pretty much anything and everything you can imagine. So I'll have wire cut sensors and laser beam, brake beam alarms. Don't worry, nothing hurting anybody, but infrared brake beam laser alarms. So if you just break the beam, an alarm goes off. And cameras on top of cameras, because certain people enjoy taking my cameras and laughing that I have no evidence. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. So, cameras backing up cameras, and alarms on top of alarms. So, the brake being sensor will alert us if something approaches the fencing. The wire cut sensor, missing pulse detector circuit, will detect if the electric fence wires get broken or disturbed or grounded. Even if you try to short out the wire to try to get through it, we will have an alarm in that area alerting us to exactly where it happened at that time. And that is really, really cool. So even if you try to short out, break, disconnect, or in any way disturb the pulses in the electric fence, well, no. That's great. Peace, safety at the Off-Grid Homestead. And that's enough for today. Talk to you all later.